and we don't have everything here totally up to date on it, which we will get around to doing soon. But tomorrow is going to be our first sort of day off. I say this because we do have to cast the CSL on the CSL channel. We never get to do it on BaseTradeTV because I guess they hate viewers. But at any rate, tomorrow's going to be like one of our first days off, so to speak, which is kind of nice. We've been casting, like I said, since I think like the 25th of January. And it's been every day since. And that's not whining, and I'm not trying to be a martyr here. Like, oh guys, please respect this because we cast. Like, I'm just stating a fact. We've been casting for a very long time. So tomorrow's gonna be kind of our first day off. Then Wednesday we got the Chairs for Gaming thing with Fear Dragon. And we'll be doing I Am Katowice that day, I think. I gotta find the times for that, because if you guys didn't see in the announcement, we will be covering 7 best of 5s on the secondary stream Excuse me. But that first week in March, we are very intentionally taking it a little bit slow. We may get stir crazy and bored and say, you know what, we can't deal with a life that has no StarCraft casting, and we may end up throwing something in between. But I'll just let everyone know that while we are not totally offline for 6 days in March, we are taking it easy in the first 6 days of March. So after that, we get back to what is almost like 1 cast a day type scheduling, ting, and all that good stuff. But yeah. Love you guys a lot, and just want to thank you for supporting us through a full month of February. It's been tough, it's been awesome, and it's been fun. But getting into this game, spawn in the top right, it's going to be the orange Zerg player, Amazing Gaming's Miniraiser.
Oh. And in the top left, as the blue Protoss, he is NightEnD.
Where?
I said, oh, because Miniraiser pulled his drones when you went away from him.
Yeah, but he's the top left, so I'm teasing.
Oh, bottom left. I was too distracted. And Miniraiser. He pulled his drones, and then he took a gold base.
Yeah, the gold base is actually really interesting to see this early. So Detox is a map that's been in our pool for a while. I don't know how well, like how familiar these guys are with Detox, because both of them do play in some of our cups from time to time. But taking the gold base early, even if you don't know the map, is interesting, because I do feel this base is about as well protected as your regular third in terms of like layout. It's further away, it's harder to get creeps spread out, but you still have like lots of exposed entrances. Same here with the third, double ways up that ramp.
Yeah. I still don't know Miniraiser's pulling the drones is accidental, or he was considering pulling them to the gold.
I think he was intending to, but not if he got caught, you know?
It was so early on, though. Like, the gold base was only like 25% done. He either realized that the timing would be off, or that maybe it wouldn't be worth it. But now he does send drones over. So, just not mining from the natural, actually. Going straight for that gold. This is probably the way that Zerg's going to do it, just in general. Versus Protoss, at least. I'm not sure about Terran. Definitely not versus another Zerg. But versus Protoss, I can see this being the standard on this map. Just like an Overgrowth. Eventually taking that gold base became a standard too, and it was crazy.
And No Regret became a good player.
Well, not American player.
Actually, I was hoping to see No Regret today.
Yeah, he played in the Chairs for Gaming Cup, I think, yesterday.
Maybe that's why he stayed up late, didn't want to wake up early for this.
Perhaps.
I'm at this weird state of being right now where 10 a.m. didn't used to be early for me, but it does feel early now.
Aw, they're there.
It's like the lack of a proper sleep schedule gives you no sense of time whatsoever. Lings, you managed to take down the pylon. That in and of itself is pretty nice, but of course not gonna be game-ending damage by any stretch of the imagination.
The Miniraiser, I mean, getting that gold base is quite a boon here, and it's not going to be shut down from NightEnD.
You know what? The gold base being taken here actually ends up being better, I feel, in this situation, because when he scouted, he saw a Phoenix. So he's able to really just take advantage of this early game economy, because you know there's not going to be 7 Adepts and more warping in behind it. You're probably going to comfortably mine off his base for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, usually. Part of the Storm, we had a lot of fake Phoenix openers that would put the Zerg at peace, and then they would be like 6-7 gateways follow-up, but NightEnD is going for that third base. Miniraiser's Ling's going to be able to confirm that, if they wanted to. And, he's going to be able to just happily mine. He hasn't got a Roach Warren, and that Spire's almost done, and we do know that Meters are good on this map, but against someone who already opened Phoenixes, it's always risky. Not that it's not doable, it's just it's not going to get the same, surprise effect as other builds.
I just thought it was absolutely unnecessary for you to include on this map at the end of that. Mutalists are good. Full stop.
It's true.
By the way, dude, I don't know which I love more, the Ace Food or the Ace Loot emote. Like, every time someone puts your emote in chat, I just want to respond with that same emote. It just looks so happy.
The Ace Loot one just it makes me a little uncomfortable.
You know what's funny? Our Ace Loot emote has taken so with the exception of Ace Partout or Ace P because it gets spammed by the bot, Ace TC used to always be our most used emoticon. Yeah. However, in the process of 3 days, Ace Loot has usurped it pretty heavily.
Wow. Okay, so when I first imagined it, especially because we're going to use Olivia as our model, I thought it was going to be something that was that angry / blushing, kind of look.
That's where I thought it was going to go too, but when I got this back, I was like, no, this is so much better.
And it looks just like it's not only lewd for other people, but something lewd is
going on
there. So I just
yeah, where'd those arms go, Olivia? Where are you putting those hands? Hands on the table. Show us your hands.
I don't know about that. Just ask where Crank is. Hey, Slood.
Sitting next to her, probably streaming.
That's
oh my gosh, Stream doesn't know this story. We need to know this story.
Okay, that was a very odd segue, but yes.
No, because so we stopped streaming our D&D sessions because there just wasn't a super ton of interest for it. But this week, what we're doing, it happened to be while Crank was streaming. So it wasn't it was Olivia who was role playing at the time. And I donated $3 to Crank. I'm like, hey, can you just quickly shout really loud and try and scare Olivia? So he reads the donation, doesn't read it out loud, looks at the camera, nods, and then just scares the fuck out of Olivia.
So the context, though, is that if you guys were there for my beautiful retelling of our story, was that we were looking down into a dark pit, and she had sent fire down there. And there's limbs and half-eaten bodies and shit and a crying wail of some monster. And then the donation comes and Crank reaches over and touches her and says boo, and she just flips the fuck out.
Yeah, she starts beating him. You can see it on stream, her fists just start flailing. Now, I've taken the time here to inject the story because it was the slow march of the queens. As Miniraiser does hit a fairly dedicated attack, he does not have much left at home, but the Phoenix aren't a problem. If there's a warp prism, maybe he's in some trouble. But with the double entrances to the base, he gets in here with a surround. Hydras on the north side, Queens to the south. Zealots are attacking the wrong part of this. They need to be the buffer for the Hydras.
Well, the Queens got started using those transfuses. There we go. And the Hydras were dipping out because of the photon overcharges. But as those go away, they can come in and try and take out these Immortals. Some of their hardened shields are now gone. The Phoenix is going to try and take some of these Hydras out of the equation.
Yeah, that'll help a little bit. But I mean, Lynx and Hydra is good against Immortals, but with the Probe pull into this, it's already a little bit scary. Miniraiser is starting to lose some of his momentum here on the front lines. The Immortals taking some time to kill down those Queens, but they've used most of the transfuses. Thank you to Kai Herberts for the new sub during the heat of battle. Nice stuff, man. But Miniraiser is maintaining a supply lead, but it is not looking good. I mean, NightEnd's starting... No, actually, I take this back. With the barriers being on cooldown and not available, this is actually snowballing, so I take that back. I thought they had barriers still.
Yeah. The Link Flood really isn't so scary, but it's the fact that Miniraiser's on 4 bases behind this, and he has no problem, remaxing. Well, not maxing.
Are we using our mod? No, we're not. Oh, damn it.
No. So, there's no upgrades, there's no additional tech, so Miniraiser is stalled in one place or another while NightEnd is trying to continue his own upgrades and High Templars, but that was a attack that certainly did damage. Enough damage to warrant it, but did not end the game.
So stream delay kicks in, and everyone starts spamming Ace Loot, and Olivia is just like, oh, she's loving it. She's like, everybody loves me, the attention. She's not gonna love this next part though, where we tell the story of her freaking out on Crank. I do think that. Oh wow, when Zombie Grub talks about your married life, Ace Loot. Zombie Grub is very nosy, guys. For those who don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty lewd nosy.
Just no boundaries sometimes.
All the time.
All the time. Okay, so here's round 2 of the attack. The problem is, Miniraiser doesn't have upgrades, but NightEnd does. So this army is pretty nice. However, I don't think there's there's detection. It's a little bit of detection. Okay. Alright, so as he continues to advance forward, we've seen a couple of really cool spots used on this map. Putting the 2 lurkers here, for example, and then sieging forward off of that. The range on the lurkers is going to be super beneficial, as it'll just... There's nothing that NightEnD has that's going to match that. But if he's got enough immortals, like 4 immortals can one-shot a lurker if they all combine their shots. So it's not impossible for him to deal with this. But it is not a good position to take an advantageous fight in at all.
No. It's not a bad position in general for NightEnD, although this is a bad position to go in, so definitely worry about attacking here. But he was able to just stabilize after that attack. His probe count's fine, his technology is what's really good, and his upgrades, which Miniraiser just has not bothered getting. He's trying to get to Aspire right now.
Yeah.
NightEnD, however, decides to run into these lurkers.
It's a concave of Hydras and lurkers. The weird thing is that the Zealots spreading on the north side end up working really well.
Oh god, that was so intentional. Such a nice play from Miniraiser.
I was wondering why he was diving with the Hydras like that for a moment. I'm like, that he's no ways move commanding. Like, what's happening here? But sniping off the Observer, now there's no detection. Forced NightEnD to back off. And Miniraiser, whose economy was kicking a lot of ass, is starting to fall a little bit flat. And this isn't because he's got significantly less workers. In fact, he's got more workers. But the problem is this gold base is running out of minerals. And he's overstacked on one half and not even mining on the other. So a little bit awkward over there. Does have his 4th base set up at his 3rd, so he's got some decent mining going on. But if you are going to go for an all-in, whether it's mutas, lurkers, hydras, you name it, if you're not going for upgrades, you are kind of hit a point where if you haven't killed your opponent, their upgrades are going to start winning them battles that they shouldn't.
That's all good points, but NightEnd's also going to start thinking about expanding. He's got that 4th base in mind as the gold, but that's where lurkers can abuse a couple of different high grounds, actually. The mutas don't really seem too problematic, as they're only getting a couple. It was really nice of them to get the War Prism, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to invest in more, realize what the situation is. Because, again, we look at what's here. It's Immortals, it's Zealots, it's a very small amount of Archons. Mobility through Mutalists is going to be better than their damage, that's for certain.
NightEnD obviously knows there's mutas. I don't know why he's not starting any Phoenix production. He starts Blink.
Plus 3 Blink Stalkers is actually pretty good. I just don't know if he'll have enough.
They're only good, though, in direct engagements. Like, if you only go for Blink Stalkers, you're eventually going to be forced into a base trade, which Protoss usually don't win.
That's true.
So the Phoenixes really are necessary to actually catch up to those mutas.
Oh, this is... I don't know why he wants to do that. That's
I don't know about that.
That's scary. We got a donation coming in. $10 from Hard Revenge. Let's see, what does that message say? You guys put so much grind into your daily... Here, I'm going to follow the mutas so you guys can watch stuff happen. You put so much grind into your daily work and consistently produce awesome content. You earned a well-deserved break. Also, these months are pretty dank. May our Lord and Savior bless you. Amen. I can't click a link through a donation, so I don't know what that is.
The link is Nathanias on Jesus. That says, like, dank memes, praise or something.
Then that is a pretty dank donation. Thank you, kind sir.
Thank you.
Now, Stalkers doesn't have Blink for that fight, funny enough, so they can't really give proper chase to the mutas. But as we saw, if they can get the shots in, they did a lot of damage pretty quickly as well. Miniraiser are also setting up this, what looks to be an amazing concave. The funny thing about lurkers, though, is they don't really work too well in a concave, mostly because of the way the splash damage works. If you attack from the side of the concave, it's ruined. Center of it? Okay, maybe, but... Either way, the focus isn't going to be on those lurkers. They're meant to just stall/buy time while the mutas do all the real work, all the heavy lifting.
Yep. The Blink Stalkers, this is where they're not so bad if Blink was actually done, like between bases where they can blink to and fro, but as they continue to just run around, this is where Phoenixes could really start following them, you know, and he would have been forced to make some Corruptors too, and maybe that's not where you really wanted to go, but Miniraiser's just allowed to kind of do what he wants. He took his time getting to a 5th base. I think that might have been a mistake, because it's only just coming up now. But he's maxed out. He's still banking money.
I like the attempt to go for Warp Prisms again. It's scary because it failed earlier, of course. You don't want to lose another Warp Prism for nothing. But getting some Archons on the other side of the map means that the mutas won't be able to come back and snipe this off so easily.
That's true, but it is a heavy investment in something that might not do a lot. You know, Archons are very slow, and you can pull the drones away, so... I don't know. We do have a main attack coming in here. Miniraiser just creeping forward with a massive amount of lurkers that he has.
It's like this slow leapfrog forward. There's
19.
There's not enough immortals to deal with this. He's relying on the charge lots, but the problem is those charge lots have to actually take a good angle of attack. If they charge in head on like this, they'll get splashed down.
Yeah. If NightEnD had a couple of, like, and by a couple I mean a lot, of storms, I mean, that would, these lurkers are pretty bunched up, but he wears some charge lots with his Archons, and that does make it capable of killing this hatchery pretty darn fast.
Oh, well, the whole lurker army advances now. This is really questionable.
Yeah, doesn't really have a concave. In fact, NightEnd's the one with a concave now.
I think NightEnd might have just won this game.
I think so.
That advance
the
out of
observer
Miniraiser.
It's so obnoxious.
There's another observer out there.
There you go.
But even then, like, the advance out of Miniraiser seemed really strange. Like, okay, my opponent's attacking me, so I'll attack him. Like, I actually think pulling back would have been a smarter decision, to be honest, because the mutas were getting really good harassed. Miniraiser had killed so many of NightEnd's probes up to this point as well. Look at that, 61 work steal versus 46, and all of Miniraiser's deaths come from the last, like, 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pulling back would have been a better option. You leave maybe like a couple on the ramp so that they have to think twice about maybe pushing out to capitalize on it, and then you defend your 5th base, which he definitely needed. He is mined out of the 3 bases he has now. His gold's about to be attacked, and Miniraiser just doesn't have a real response to this anymore. He lost all of his important units, and mutas aren't going to cut it.
GG, NightEnD. Gonna take this series 2-1 to advance on in the brackets. That sends him against either Netty or Revolver. Poppy Joe lost, surprisingly, actually, in the top half.
Huh.
Bottom side, we get you Thermal versus Blue Cheese. Blue Cheese defeating Rainer 2-1. That's actually pretty impressive, gotta say.
That's everywhere.
And then I think Eric versus Sol already started. So Healer versus Teffel is already in game.
They were in game before we even started that game, so...
Alright, I'll try poking Healer, but I think, yeah, they're in game right now, so we'll maybe have some luck catching them out of the game. We're going to go to a commercial break, though, guys, so do stick with us. Just 2 minutes of ads, and then we'll be back soon with more of the Who the Fuck Didn't Go to Katowice Cup. I love saying his name. See you guys soon.